We finally have some official information about the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, as well as lots of fresh new leaks and rumors. What's up YouTube, Saf here on SuperSaf TV, and let's break all of these down SuperSaf style. So firstly, we do have the official teaser for Unpacked, and it's going to be on August the 9th, 2018. August the 9th, Samsung Galaxy Note 9, makes sense. And the center of attention for the image is a yellow S Pen. Now, a lot of people thought that this was the home button on the actual device. No, this is the S Pen with the button that is on the S Pen. So why is Samsung putting so much emphasis on the S Pen, and in particular, the button on the S Pen? Well, according to leaker Ice Universe, that is because the S Pen this year will have Bluetooth connectivity, and it's going to allow things like remotely controlling the camera on the Note 9, as well as remotely controlling music. Now this makes things quite interesting because traditionally with the S Pen, you can only use it when you're hovering over or physically touching the device, but having Bluetooth connectivity would mean you can use it maybe a few meters away. Now this does raise a few questions. The S Pen will now have to have a battery inside. Is that battery going to be a physical battery which you have to remove? Is it going to be something that's going to charge while it's in the device? Is it going to make the S Pen thicker? These are all things that we're going to have to wait and see for. Now from this teaser, we also see that new yellow color. So this is something that we've not seen before. In the render, it's hard to judge, but it'll be interesting to see how it looks in hand. A few months ago, I did post an image of the Note 8 with a D-brand skin, and this was very popular and a lot of people did like that color. So if the final product looks anything like that, then it should look really, really cool, especially if it has gold accents. Let's now move on to the build and design. What is the Note 9 gonna look like? Well, a lot of you guys probably already were expecting it to be an incremental update like we had from the S8 to the S9. And you're not going to be wrong, because based on all of the leaked renders as well as leaked case designs, it does look like we're going to have a very similar build and design to the Note 8 last year. Now, I said this for the S9 and I'll say it again for the Note 9. This is not necessarily a bad thing because the S8 and the Note 8 are still some of the best looking devices out right now, with a metal frame and curved glass panels on the front and back. Now the build and design is further confirmed by a reputable leaker on Leaks, and that is in the form of a 3D render which is based upon factory CADs. Now from these renders, we see the Infinity display with minimal bezels and no notch, thankfully. So very familiar to the Note 8, but things are a little bit different at the back. With the Note 8, we've got the fingerprint scanner right next to the cameras. This was a very bad placement in my opinion. This has now been moved below the cameras like we've got with the S9. However, the camera placement is still horizontal like we've got on the Note 8, not vertical like we've got it on the S9. So from the renders, it looks like it's going to be somewhere around here, which in my opinion is still a little bit too high. With the S9 Plus, because we have a vertical camera placement, the fingerprint scanner is a little bit lower, which makes it a little bit more reachable. Now, of course, the final product might be slightly different, so I'll hold my judgment for that. But these leak renders do tell us that we are not going to be having an in-display fingerprint scanner, unfortunately. This is something that we might get for the Samsung Galaxy S10, but currently it doesn't look like Samsung feel that the technology is at the level for their flagship devices. The leak renders from OnLeaks also show a 3.5mm headphone jack, so this is good news that this will still be staying here for the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. Whether or not Samsung remove this next year, we'll have to see. So that's the build and design, but we also have lots more leaked information from Russian tech reporter Eldar Murtazin. I think that's how you say the name. Apparently Eldar has had some early hands-on time with the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 and has written his first impressions. From what I hear, he has a good track record, and he's touched on a few points. The first thing being that we're going to have a brighter display. So although the display is likely to be the same size, it is supposed to be brighter than the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. Now the Note 8 and the S9s currently have some of the best and brightest displays out right now with the Super AMOLED technology. So the fact that the Note 9 is going to have an even brighter display is good news and should make it one of the best, if not the best display in the market when it's out. Another important piece of information that we've got from Eldar is that we're going to have a bigger battery, up to 4000 mAh, which is going to be great news for everybody. Now the Note 8 actually has a pretty small battery, 3300 mAh. Now this seems to be because of the issues that we had with the Note 7 and the battery expanding. So it looks like Samsung opted for a smaller battery for the Note 8 to regain some consumer confidence. But the Note 8 has been a huge success, and the Note 7 is now in the past, so it looks like Samsung can really go ahead and try to increase that battery. 4000 mAh would be absolutely awesome. However, this is going to mean that we're going to have a heavier device, and this is something else that Elder has said. The Note 8 is already 195 grams, which is pretty heavy already, so it looks like the Note 9 might pass that 200 grams mark. Now, another update that we're likely to have is in the weight of RAM. So we are likely to have a 6GB base model like we've got with the Note 8, but Eldar has said that we're also going to have an 8GB model, which will be awesome, but this may only be available in certain markets. Eldar has also said that we're going to have improved photography, although this is going to be mostly software based. So in terms of the hardware, it's likely that we're going to have similar camera hardware to that of the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. This is something that we usually tend to see when we go from the Galaxy S device to the Galaxy Note device each year. And the final piece of information that we have from Eldar is around storage. We're likely to have a boost in storage with a base of 128GB, which is going to be absolutely awesome, as well as additional versions with 256GB as well as 512GB, depending on markets. 512GB in a smartphone, that is absolutely insane. I'm pretty sure many people will have laptops with less storage than that. But that's all the information what we have right now, all summarized for you in one place. What do you guys think of the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 so far, based on all the leaks and rumors? Definitely drop me a comment below and let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up button. And of course, we're going to be having more Note 9 coverage. If there are any other major leaks, then I'll be doing another video closer to the time. If you want to see that first, then make sure you have subscribed and switch on notifications so you don't miss it, as well as lots more content. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV. I'll see you next time.